Welcome, gamers, to this week's episode of Last Call Gaming. We're on episode number 60. My name is Craig Perales, and joining me is the most patriotic gentleman I know, Mandrew Montemayor.
Go Patriots!
Go Paz! I'm saying go Phillies, bro. Go Eagles. I'm all about it. We missed our last week's episode, guys, so I hope you weren't too disappointed, but the episode 60 has returned, and Andrew, it's been a journey with you, my friend, to get to episode 60. As a person, unlike Psyducks and Golducks.
Oh yeah, we'll get back to that.
So guys, we're here to talk about a couple of things. Big news dropped. The Xbox Series S and the Xbox Series X price has come out, as well as the launch date. Now, this thing is showing that it's coming out November 10th, which was kind of what was been really speculated. But the price point's what's really blowing everyone's mind. The Series X is coming out at $499, but the one that's still on the show is the Series S at $299. This is the all-digital console. I mean, there's a lot of power under these hoods. What do you think about the initial price drop?
Well, actually, first off, I hate that it's coming out on the 10th because it's a Tuesday.
A Tuesday, he says.
So I really was hoping for like a weekend drop.
That's middle of the week shopping.
Like that. So I'll have to take a few days off work for that. But actually, I'm pretty stoked with the pricing. I'd read like a rumor a long time ago, but a lot of it kind of wasn't true. But someone had said that the S was going to be $299 and that the X was going to be like $399. I was like, oh, there's no way it could be that true. Like, that's super crazy cheap.
That'd be insane.
And I mean, for the prices, I'm happy with both. Like, I think it's a crazy good point for anyone to jump in who doesn't want to spend that kind of money. You know, spending $299, that's nothing versus the $499 for someone like me who's already going to be a day one buyer, and I've been set on that anyways. I was actually planning on, I actually thought it was going to be maybe like $599, and worst come to worst, and I still would have paid it, would have been like $699.
Yeah, I think we both speculated episodes back of like this thing could have been on the high end of like closer to $800, and for what you're getting under the hood for the Xbox Series X, it could have made sense, but $500 in my mind is right. And then, but for the Series S to be $300, that is how you sell a system. We were talking about, you know, does Halo not coming out on time with the launch of the system, does that affect day one buyers? I mean, Andrew, we're talking maybe for the Series X, but for the Series 1S, I'm getting so confused with these names. The Series S1, $300. I mean, that's a no-brainer. That thing's going to be hard to keep on the shelves because, I mean, there's no reason not to buy it, especially now that they're bundling the huge bundle they're doing with the Game Pass Ultimate, now merging with the EA. I mean, there's no reason not to buy this as not only your main console, if that's what you're looking for, but as a secondary in the house.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is with the S, of course, like everyone was saying, it's going to be, it is all digital, so there is no disk drive. But I mean, most of the games I download these days are digital. I don't know the last time
we game share like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
so.
Game share all day. But like Craig was saying, they just announced with the new Game Pass Ultimate that EA Access is going to be merging with that. And so for $15, you're getting the Game Pass on PC if you have a PC, so that's also another
cloud gaming.
Your purchase goes further than it did before with the EA Access, and yeah, the cloud gaming, so you can play whatever certain games will work on your phone, tablet, that sort of thing. And so now you can just take that on the go without even the console. That, dude, like your $299 initial investment for something if you just want on your TV. This thing's pretty small.
Yeah.
And we just watched an unboxing. You could easily palm that thing with one hand on the go. Like, easy to pack up, go, move around, wherever, take up a little space in your house for your one spot nook and cranny. And then everything else, that's the beauty of kind of that thing. And I know I wasn't too crazy about it before, but hey, just join our environment, whatever. Get this Game Pass, but now you can take it here. You can take it everywhere with you.
Yeah, Microsoft is definitely doing something that's leaning heavily on just consumer friendly, all access, get what you can. And the fact that they're bundling up with EA is, I don't want to call it like the fuck you move to like PlayStation, because I don't know if this is just going to be something only Xbox gets. I don't know if down the line maybe Sony partners up and gets something like that. But the fact that they're now getting in deals with brands and games that just adds to their package. I mean, they are clearly moving in a way where subscription is going to be what they want you to do, and they want to give you an awesome piece of hardware at a very low price, and that's not covering up anything. The system still runs fantastic. I mean, there's differences, but in horsepower between the two.
Yeah,
but it's not like a weaker Xbox One X. It's a powerful Series S digital, and now you're bundling it with EA, which gives you all your sports games, which gives you 10 hours of trial on every game with achievements that roll over. I mean, Microsoft is moving in a way that's just game-changing, pun intended.
Yeah. Let's get into some of those differences. So, I mean, it's going to have the same CPU. They've already said that. The big difference is going to be in the GPU, where the X has the 12 teraflops versus this, the S is going to have 4 teraflops. Plus, the X has, I believe, 16 gigs of RAM, whereas this one's only going to have 10 gigs of RAM. So, it's going to, for the S, it's going to be targeting 1440p. So, I mean, that's not 4K. It will upscale to 4K. But it does say at 60 FPS, up to 120 FPS. And so that, I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at, especially if you're not a graphics snob. You know, there's a lot of people who don't have a 4K TV. So, I mean, why not? You know, even if you do have a 4K, some people just can't even tell the difference.
Well, the other thing is, even if you're doing it for like streaming services, the Series S is perfect because like Twitch doesn't even go to 4K. I think it caps out at like 1080 or something like that. So even if you're buying the system as your new stream box, it's going to do all the specs required to go online and continue your Twitch or your Facebook gaming or things like that. So there's no negative to this thing outside of it not having an optical disc. And that's really a thing of the past.
Well, actually, I think the other thing, and I guess it could be a negative, but it really just depends on what we're going to see with next gen, if they can find a way to shrink the game sizes. The S only comes with a 512 hard drive.
Yeah, I mean, and that's always memories and space and all that stuff is usually what we always want more of. But I mean, spec wise, that thing's gonna be running still pretty smooth, pretty good.
It could probably just take Call of Duty in one other game at this rate, because that Call of Duty's file size is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's nonsense. But I mean, now the curtain's revealed, right? We know Xbox is coming out on the
worst way.
We know this. We know the price points. Now it's really just, okay, Sony, what are you gonna do? Like, what's your move?
What do you think they're gonna come in at? If you had to guess,
probably $4.99 and $3.99.
I don't know if the disc drive could be that much, but honestly, I see them coming in at like $549 or $599, because I think Sony's in that place right now where they're like, you know, fuck them, who cares? We don't need to compete with that price point. We've got the games, we've got the titles, we have the fan base. We kicked ass this last generation. Let's just ride that title wave going further. And so, even still, we were already okay with paying the extra bit of money if this was going to be higher. Why wouldn't anyone on Sony's side? What are they going to care that this other thing, the only thing that would throw the wrench in it, not even throw a wrench, but like, okay, now I'm going to get an S2 as well because it's super cheap. Why not get a PS5 and then I could get the Xbox as well, you know, whenever, because it's so cheap.
Yeah, I don't think Sony needs to skimp on any pricing. They know they're guaranteed buys. People are going to get them. You know, they don't have something that needs to be Halo tied to on a day one purchase. They're going to have the Spider-Mans coming out. They have the marquee titles. So they don't need to I think, hide behind a $299 price point. They can do whatever they want, and people are still going to buy it because it's still projected to be the hottest selling system of the next gen. So
right. I
think Sony's fine. It's just we're getting to the point where we need to know things. We need to know all the price points, and we need to know the release dates because it's here. It's happening now. And the fact that November 10th, do you think it'll be the same day? Are they ballsy enough to do that? Same day, November 10th, drop for PS5?
I don't know if they are, because if not, why wouldn't they've said it already if they're not going to do it sooner?
Well, I mean, if Assassin's Creed Valhalla pushed its date from being further to sooner to launch with the Series X, why wouldn't Sony want to be a part of that opening window with a marquee title like that?
I don't know, and that's kind of the thing is, like, I haven't really seen too many other games. Like, I've seen lots for Xbox that say, like, launching with, and all the PlayStation ones seem to say, like, launch window versus day one
holiday
launch game or something like that. And I think something, too, that, I think has been the most annoying, it has been the lack of information. Because this actually only came out because someone actually, I think it was like Brad Sams, accidentally leaked a trailer that showed like the Xbox S with the price and the release date. And then it was like a day later that Xbox like confirmed it, like, all right, you know, here's this. And then it was the day after that where they're like, okay, here's the X price as well too. It's all finalized. It's going to be on the 10th. And then Phil Spencer even put out a tweet like, oh, hey, like it sucks that stuff leaks or whatever. We've been working on this. We're proud to present a product. But yeah, we weren't going to show this stuff until next week. So what was the point? I don't think, even though it is a fantastic price point, what was the point of waiting so long? What would another week have really done? Especially if the pre-orders go live on September 22nd.
Yeah, that's the other big
thing.
Yeah.
Why would I wait even closer? Some people like to prepare, maybe set aside their money. I know there's lots of people, like, if you are going to spend, this kind of money, all right, cool, give me a little bit, give me more than like a week, give me more than a few days, so that way I could actually prepare, make sure I'm going to be okay. Don't accidentally, oh man, I was going to, someone could have gone out tomorrow and been like, oh, fuck it, they're not going to announce anything. I'm going to go spend $300 right. on a new gaming chair. But now there goes my money. Now I got to wait a little bit longer for whatever the case may be,
It's crazy that it's been this long of a staring match of who was going to blink first for the date and the time and the prices and all that stuff. It doesn't make any sense to me of why they've waited so long. We should have had this information 2 months ago, so that way people can be saving up, planning what their games are going to be when they purchase them. But I mean, back to the concept of the release dates out. Do you think PS5 is still going to come out on time before holiday, or do you think there's any way this thing would push to 2021?
I don't think it'll get pushed, but I do see it maybe being like a week or so later, probably like a 19th or something like that.
If it does come out this year, it'll still be in November?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see them pushing it back to December.
Right, because that wouldn't make sense, and I think they would lose a lot of steam that they have going for them. Especially, I'm telling you guys, that Xbox. I was telling Andrew earlier, I think this might be one of the fastest selling, best selling systems of all time. You can't beat that price.
Yeah, at $299, I think it's like crazy good for a steal.
And it's cool because Microsoft is doing its subscription. Sony's kind of relying on its big titles, its first party games. And then even Nintendo's doing really good work when now they're moving on with their like Switch Pro and all their first parties. So I like that all of our dev companies like Xbox, Sony, and Nintendo are all doing good things in different ways. Like, there's no more real competing against each other. They're all doing something different and unique, and I think working for each one of those particular brands.
They're all competing against each other,
well,
but they're taking like very different roads versus like, okay, it's just one in one with slight differences. I mean, even another thing too that they were talking about is for those who maybe don't have the money up front or something like that, they're going to do like some sort of like leasing thing. Like, I think they did that with the series or the One X as well too. So it says for the S, it could be at 20. Again, I believe this is probably all going to be dependent on your credit and what you get approved at or something like that. But you could be paying $25 a month, which is going to get you the Series S with the Game Pass and all the bells and whistles and all the everything, or $35 a month, and that'll get you the X. And you'll be paying more over time, I'm sure. So even if it's like $5, even if it was like $800 and you're paying $300 more, $400 more, whatever, that's still money that you wouldn't see till later. And it's no different than what people do, my iPhone or something like that. Exactly. I don't pay for that up front. I just pay, it's $20 on my bill every month. What's $25 or $35?
Yeah, because what they're saying is that it's going to be on a 24-month plan. $25 for the S, $35 for the X, and it's giving you 2 years worth of Game Pass Ultimate. So even that's a good deal. Like, I mean, they're dying to just put this in your hands and like let the subscription stack. So kudos to Microsoft, man. I think they've done everything right. They're coming out of a very difficult position. They've always been looked at as the number 2. They've always been the guy that's been a little bit behind Sony, and they've really been retooling and rebranding themselves as a company over the last 4, 5, 6 years, and it's finally, I think, gonna pay off. Like, this is gonna be a generation where they're no longer gonna be the number 2 guy. I'm looking at maybe a tie for first.
I'm hoping that when he said that they were going to do another, or that they were going to release this information next week, I'm hoping that means, because what I think that they do need right now is to show off before the pre-orders go live, is like, hey, here's the console, here's games running on the console now.
Yeah, we need
here's
to see
the
that.
Difference, show me Ori 1-to-1, show me what other games 1-to-1, but show me some first-party titles, show me anything, just show me whatever, and why I need this console. Granted, I'm already going to get it, but for all the other people out there, I think that that's the big thing too, is we haven't seen too much of, we've seen a lot of PlayStation stuff, like,
good looking stuff, dude. Really, really good stuff.
I've seen his, I want to see yours.
I want to see yours. And, a lot of things, people were kind of joking. They were like, oh, well, all we're relying on now is the Game Pass, right? Because Halo's not coming out day one. It's just going to be the Game Pass. Well, they're like, okay, well, fuck you. Let's put EA on the Game Pass now. So it's like they just blew up. I mean, everything they had, they're doubling down on it. And they're just like, dude, we're gonna make this bigger and better, and it's unheard of. Like, I can't wrap my head around how EA is gonna be making money because there's no additional charge for EA coming onto the Game Pass.
Yeah,
like
no,
it's insane. This is all behind the scenes stuff that like obviously makes sense to somebody, but to me, I'm just like, geez Louise.
No, I think it's all good, and I think a lot of people were very actually positive about this. I know some people didn't like the look, but a lot of people just kind of didn't care because that price point and the other stuff they're offering was just blowing away. So it's been nothing but positive news so far. And I think the funniest meme that I've seen, I forget what movie it is, where the guy's standing outside the window with a boombox, but he's holding.
The John Cusack movie. Yeah. Oh, what the fuck is that? Yeah.
Whatever movie it is, he's standing outside like the chick's house with like a boombox.
Iconic scene. Yeah.
But they replaced the boombox with like the Xbox Series S, and it looked perfect in there.
I think the look of it is odd. I don't like the black. I don't know why they just make it white. It looks like a piece of Velcro that needs to come off. But again, mine's gonna be probably stand up, or even when it's laid horizontally, I'll never see it. So I'm just curious why they just didn't make it white. Like, why make it look like a black button?
Yeah.
Did you see that Minion thing? I don't know if
I tagged it. Where someone made a Minion
They made a Minion console out of it, and it's his eye. And I was like, dude, that is perfect. So that, guys, is most of the Xbox stuff that was happening. Is there anything else you want to add on? I mean, we'll throw the link in for like the trailers and the reviews and stuff like that. But
yeah, if you guys want to check out some other stuff, we were just watching. They have unboxings. It seems like a lot of people got like dud models where it doesn't have anything on the inside, but just so you can see like how tall it is, scale. Yeah, compare it to this dude's like, well, it's 3 controllers wide, 2 controllers tall, whatever. So either way, I mean, I think both of them look good, especially seeing them out unboxed like that.
Yeah, and I'm really, even if there's no launch game for it, no more load times. Or load times are going to be minimized, and it's especially, and we'll talk about Marvel Avengers here in a bit. Load times are just insane, and the fact that we're moving away from that is all the better. So moving on from that, guys. Also today we dropped they dropped the Ubisoft Forward. That was the kind of the part 2 from what they did. Was it earlier? Was it last month?
I think it was like 2 months ago, maybe.
So this thing was about an hour, and it showed off a couple of their main titles and kind of the behind the scenes, which I really like. So before we dive into the games, how'd you like the presentation?
I felt like there were some things that I felt were like a little long.
Dragged out.
I thought the game that they ended with should have been the first game, and the first game should have been the game they ended with. Swap that out, and I think it would have been a lot better, because that ending was just kind of weird. I felt like it was a lot longer than some of the other things are really what it needed to be for what it was.
Yeah,
But also what I didn't like was... Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
I gotta gather my thoughts.
When I came in, we were about to watch it, and it's like 3 hours. I was like, what the fuck? Why is it 3 hours long? He's like, no, it's really only an hour. And I'm like, well, then what's all this other shit?
Like, it was like a huge pre-show thing, and they were doing behind the scenes and kind of just showing trailers again. I didn't watch it. I didn't have time. I wasn't going to waste 3 hours of watching like the pre-taped show of what they were going to do. But the thing's about an hour, and I think it showed off a lot of good things. It started with the newly renamed Immortals Phoenix Rising. Now, this was the original Gods and Monsters game that came out. This is the third-person action-adventure game that launches on December 3rd. I know you've been stoked for it. What'd you think? We saw a lot of good stuff.
I think it looks absolutely good. It definitely gives me like God of War, Breath of the Wild vibes. I hate the new name though. Like, I really thought Gods and Monsters was a better name. And even before it actually started, when they're like Immortals, Phoenix Rising, whatever, we have the name and whatever, and we're watching the presentation, I was like, I don't know why they changed the name. I think it's kind of dumb. And I was like, and I'm going to hate this even more if the fucking person's name is Phoenix. It's like, and your main character, Phoenix. And I'm like, God. I was like, there it is.
It's your boy.
It's your boy, Phoenix, back in it once again.
And it was cool because it shows a girl character, a protagonist being, the main person in all the trailers. But then it dives into it's actually completely customizable. So you can
I did not see coming. I thought that was cool.
I didn't see this. So you can make it a guy or a girl, whatever you want to do. The gameplay, it does look a little Breath of the Wild. I was kind of thinking cartoony God of War-ish, but anything that dives into Greek mythology, obviously we're fans of. And the fact that the way that he was kind of describing the combat was like quick-paced, learn different abilities. You can kind of focus if you want to be more, aggressive with certain skills and things like that. So the combat looks like it's not just going to be a button smasher. You're going to be able to kind of mix and match your own abilities with the way you're going to attack. And I got to say, a lot of the designs look really cool. I like seeing the Cyclops. I like seeing the Gorgons and the Medusas. And they're saying that it's not just going to be like a stale game. Like, they're really focusing on like having really good comedic timing And even in the trailer, you get to see it, and I'm like, yeah, this game looks funny. It looks cool, and nothing looked slow in it, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I like that too. And also, they made it a point to say, once you start this journey, you can kind of really go anywhere and make your adventure, whatever. So there's no set order. There's also different kinds of armor too, so your person's changing their outfit and stuff like that.
Oh my god!
Yeah. So I actually love this game. I think this is going to be a day one for me. I'm actually really excited for this one.
Well, we'll get it digitally.
I just hate the name.
Yeah, the name. It's so weird because that's such a random change. It's not like they eliminated or added something. It's a completely change of the name. Like nothing about that is similar to what the old one was.
If they just called it Immortals, I would have been fine with that. And I think that would have been cool because I actually enjoyed that movie too, though. But I thought Gods and Monsters was a far better name.
Yeah, and they kind of gave into the story of like, you're this person that's involved in this prophecy. The gods have fallen. There's a new Titan on the rise. So, I mean, everything looked good about it to me. Anything else you want to add on that?
No. Hype.
The next game they showed off, guys, was an old favorite for us. The Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake coming out January 21st, 2021. I love the Prince of Persia series.
I love it, yeah.
And you can even attest that, Assassin's Creed was kind of a spiritual successor of what Prince of Persia was, but that original trilogy was fantastic. This kind of, I don't want to say introduced it, but it definitely defined the mechanic of rewinding time now that you'll see in other games. What'd you think about the look, though? Because we were kind of on that point where, like, does it look good or not?
I didn't think graphically that it looked good for a remake. I was like, man, this kind of looks like shit. I was like, I hope this is like alpha footage or something, because then they showed the original and I was like, okay, like I get that it hasn't aged well, but I think the original looked better than what this did. There's like no shadows on anything. There's all kinds of weird stuff. And then later on they did come out and say it was alpha footage. So I was like, oh, thank God for that, because I did not think it was looking great. But other than that, I mean, I'm hyped for the game itself because I love the 3. And then I didn't play any of the other ones where they like redid the art or like who the person is or whatever. And I played like the one other Prince of Persia. I don't remember what it's called, but I didn't think it was good. Where you're like fighting your brother like the whole time or something like that. I don't know. I thought it sucked. But.
So I thought it was more interesting the fact that it's not a combo bundle game. It's not 1, 2, and 3.
I thought that's what it was going to be.
Yeah, it's just number 1. So if they're going to re-release all 3 of them individually, then this game better be $40 and not $60 a pop,
or $30 or something,
or
like
$70
that.
a pop once we go on the next gen.
What I did like though is that they said that they gave this to a strictly like Indian studio, and so they're really getting like the aesthetics down and all, the garbs, all the traditional stuff and everything. So I actually really appreciated that, because I think that really adds to like the authenticity of like, okay, I'm playing this game, like, oh, well, that's weird, that's out of place for whatever. So there shouldn't be anything like that.
Yeah. So I mean, if you guys are fans of Prince of Persia, check it out. If you've never heard of it and you want to see like an old school game,
it's weird to think no one's played Prince of Persia.
Well, hey, there's a young audience and someone born new every day. And that game was. I remember playing that game in high school. So that's how long it's been. The fact we haven't had anything Prince of Persia outside of the remake they tried doing and the movie that bombed. So I like that it's at least coming back to our attention.
I think I like 2 more than 1. But then I remember Godsmack starts playing like during the middle of it.
Godsmack and everything.
Once that guitar riff hits, I'm like, oh, well, there's the Haka.
The next thing they touched on was the Hyperscape. We haven't really dived into that game yet. That's the new kind of battle royale game that's in the forefront right now. I think they were just kind of recapping, the season 2 pass and all that stuff. So if you're interested in that, check it out. I haven't played it. You haven't played it, so not really much to give any.
Yeah, I'm kind of not really into it, but I could be missing out. I'll have to try it. I think it is free to download, so
yeah, it's definitely a free game. But the one I know you were really hyped on was that Rainbow Six World Cup kind of commercial they did. They're showing that there's going to be like a country-based tournament. Looked interesting.
Right, so what they did is they had the song thing. At first I was like, what the hell is this? This is like stupid, especially if it's just
I did not get what was happening.
Because it just showed a bunch of people in jerseys, people sporting their teams, sporting their country, whatever, with some Rainbow Six symbols. But then they went on to announce the Rainbow Six Siege World Cup, which I think is badass. It's a cool idea. It's pretty much like any other World Cup, like soccer, football, depending on where you live. So they're going to have all these people competing for their countries. It said there's going to have 45 countries and then selected players. And so what's even weirder about that is you're going to have all these, all these pros that are playing, but they might not be with their teammate. They might be with someone else from another team. FaZe playing with, I don't know all the other whatever teams. I don't even know if FaZe plays Rainbow Six, but whatever. So
sure,
you'll have all these
dabbled.
people that have all competed against each other, and I'm sure know each other within that space, have played for money against each other, now on a team versus, Japan, whatever. So go America. I'll actually watch this because I think that's a cool concept. I like the idea of countries versus like team versus team because I've never really been kind of about that.
Yeah, they were saying that there's about 45 countries that are going to be a part of this. So the fact that they're able to get something on a global scale like this in an ecosystem that's thriving, because Rainbow Six has been out for quite a while now. So
yeah, it's came out in 2015.
Yeah, so the fact that it's still doing this good just shows that it's got legs to stand on and it's got room to grow. And again, competitions are always good. They're always healthy for the industry when you get more players evolving and new names to recognize. And the fact that it is going country versus country is really cool to see. And it's not just like, a Madden game or a football game. It's a first-person shooter game. So I think this might be one of the first ones that have done it, or at least this big.
I think that they've done it the right way. Like, this is besides like Counter-Strike or something like that, for console, this is like the longest supported shooter that I've really seen that progressively got better and is still maintaining that audience. Because he said they've had like 16 million players. But also, they announced Sam Fisher, which, I mean, they showed more gameplay from him. They announced that before. They did like some cool cartoon short that I wish would be an actual thing.
Yeah, Operation Shadow Legacy that follows around the character Zero.
But they also announced, too, that if you get, once you upgrade your console, that you're going to get a free upgrade that's going to run at 4K and 120 FPS that's going to be done by the end of this year. So I already own the game, so that'll be badass for me to take with me when I get whatever. And it's not something I spend as much time playing now, but who knows, that might get me back into it. I still dabble in the game because it is really good.
We need to get you in that tournament. For America,
dude,
bro.
I would get fucking mopped up.
We'll call you the Mandrew Pats.
Hey, as long as I can get out there and just be like LastCallGaming, the official team of the World Cup before they kick me out.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. And again, guys, we're not going to go over everything in detail. Watch it if you can. It was
worth it.
Good presentation. Quickly, we'll just say that the Scott Pilgrim game that was once upon a time out, a really good side scroller, beat 'em up. It got taken off. I forget the controversty of why it did.
Delisted, yeah.
But the 10th anniversary is now coming up, so that game is coming back out, and that'll be out this holiday. October 29th, Watch Dogs Legion is coming out, and they kind of showed this thing with is he just a rapper? Is he a player? The Stormzy.
I think you can do like a mission with him. Like, I know he's like huge in Britain as like a rapper and musician. I guess
really
he's an artist too or whatever. I've never really been like a fan of his music, but I mean, he seems like a cool guy.
He seems legit. I love to grab a drink with the guy, but his music I didn't necessarily love, and I think that's one of the things they kind of focused on too long. And it was like showing a music video within the game. I was like, okay, well, is this the mission or is this part of the context? But I really like the fact they were showing Aiden Pierce is coming back as part of being the season pass, and he's obviously the main protagonist from Watch Dogs 1. So they're saying he's coming back older, he's coming back, definitely scruffier, because he's got that Rick Ross beard coming in tight. Yeah. And I don't know, I think that's a really cool concept. So
I think they probably shouldn't have shown this game, maybe just shown a little less of it.
Yeah,
because they didn't show Assassin's Creed, and they also didn't show Far Cry, which I would have wanted to see more Far Cry. I've seen enough Assassin's Creed that I don't need more. But they just showed like the same shit for Watch Dogs. Like, oh, here's this person. This person could be a part of your team, and this person can be a part of your team.
The same thing they've done already.
What I'm not kind of liking that they were, and maybe I kind of felt like it was the same before, but it's like all these people that are a part of like the resistance, unless like you're comically old or like a drunk or something like that. It's all these people who are all like tatted up or green fucking hair or have all these piercings and stuff like that.
Neon colors.
So all these like what you would describe as like old people or like whatever that sort of thing is, like whatever you want to call that, like those are the main people of the resistance. That it's like it's the Assassin's Creed, like there's only one fucking guy with a hood with a thing, like how can you not recognize him? Like, okay, well, you have all these normal London people, there's one chick with fucking green hair and piercings everywhere. Like, why? It's so obvious that it's stupid. Like, it doesn't make sense within the concept.
Yeah.
That I hope that's not the way it plays out. Maybe that's just kind of what they've shown.
Yeah, they really kind of I don't know if it's trying to make them look edgier or hip, but yeah, all these character designs are kind of people that are naturally going to stand out in an audience. And if the name of the game is supposed to be I'm developing a team in secret, then I'd hope every character model isn't someone that stands out like an anime character in a sea of normals, because yeah, there needs to be just the guy in the suit. I mean, there's a couple guys that wear like the James Bond tux and stuff like that. So that's what they showed off, and I was just hyped that Aiden Pierce is back. Watch Dogs Legion is going to be something we're going to be grabbing and playing, so I'm really curious of how actually diverse the gameplay is going to be in terms of building a team.
When's that come out again?
That is October 29th. Yeah, so
I think I'll actually just wait to play that on the Series X.
Yeah, well, why wouldn't you?
It's only
yeah, I mean,
well, I guess I don't know. I didn't know if you wanted to be on the day one rush on it.
A game that big, I don't know if we need to day one it.
I'd rather wait.
Okay, we'll wait. Hey, we're gonna wait, because that's another game I think would be really cool to stream with the built-in share button. So
who knows what that does? You gotta let me know.
Let us know, please. Tell me. And then last, guys, they ended it with this new IP called Riders Republic. It's a multiplayer.
Weirdest way to end.
It's a multiplayer game based in extreme sports, coming out February 25th, 2021. And the concept, I guess, from what I've gathered, is that you can play in any type, like if you want to traverse the map or the course, you can do it via skydiving, you can do it on your mountain bike, you can do it on your rollerblades, you can do it on your snowboard. I'm not sure exactly what it was, outside of just a time killer to just meet up with people and complete a race.
There's like some racing. There's other aspects where it seems like you're going over like a mountain and stuff like that. At first, they showed so many people on the... Well, first, actually, I want to say... They're like, oh, and here's one more thing. And I was like, okay, cool. Here comes the Far Cry. Like, here comes something badass. And then it was this. I was like, oh, okay. Like, I felt like this is what you should have led with. But they showed a shit ton of people on the map, like all going down, snowboarding at the same time, or like everyone's biking down this big mountain at the same time. So I was like, okay, you know what? Yeah. Like you got your like squirrel suit on. I was like, oh, you know what? This looks kind of cool if they're going with the idea of a battle royale. There's no battle royale that's like, okay, you know, Fall Guys, you're kind of racing, but like that'd be cool. Like I'm racing on this cliff, you're trying to like knock people off a bridge or something like yeah. So I guess this is our idea now, is an extreme sports battle royale where you're just like racing people, which I think is a cool concept. But it just seems like that's all you're doing, is you're just like racing people down whatever. There's no sort of like elimination. You're just kind of cruising whatever, or
down
you're
the
just
street
doing. USA is what I would have
done. I like that. Yeah, because the game doesn't look bad by any means. I was looking, I'm like, it looks cool. I mean, I don't grasp the concept of what the end game is. Is it just you can because it looked to me like it would be like GTA. I can just pop in whenever I want. I can meet up with a couple of people and maybe custom make a race or join somebody's race. But other than that, it's just going to be a wide world multiplayer where I can just run into people on their bike and I'm on my skates. And
like, hey, bro, you want to race down this mountain for like no stakes? Like,
yeah.
I was just like,
I only race for pinks. So.
Yeah, I was like, I don't get it, and I don't get why this was the ending of your show. Like, I think Immortals should have been the ending, because I think that was a far better looking game. But either way, if you're looking forward to Extreme Sports, that's coming out February 25th, 2021.
So, I mean, if it's for you, it's for you. And maybe we'll see something more. Maybe we missed something. I don't know. I just didn't catch what it was actually, like, what demographic it's going for.
It almost kind of reminds me of, like, not like SSX, but, like, you remember those games, like BMX versus ATV and stuff like that, where like you can do missions, but mostly you're just kind of like cruising around doing nothing. Like that's kind of what this almost seemed like. Like, oh hey, I'll get a friend.
But you're taking out the motor. You're putting out the motors in it. Like this is all just stuff that's like a bike and a skateboard. It's like I didn't
even see a skateboard on there.
Yeah, I saw 4 different versions of mountain bikes and 6 different snowboards. I'm like, where's the things with motors in them that actually go really fast? And
no, bro, you're just shredding the gnar in this.
The game looked pretty wizard though. We'll give
they look wizard, that's for sure.
All right, guys. So we're gonna go into our last topic, and that is a quick review on the Marvel Avengers game that just came out.
Game of the year.
Went out for a couple weeks in various forms of beta testing, and it finally just dropped. The concept is kind of Destiny-ish, where you're going in, you can play with. There's a campaign, obviously, but you can go in, play with friends, collect. Collect gear, collect loot, and do these different raids, but. I gotta say, the game, I've never seen a glitchier game than I have Marvel Avengers. It's been years since I've seen a game that bad day one.
I can't think of the last game that I played that bad game one. Like, I know, like, Fallout and, like, Skyrim have, like, shit wrong with it, like Bethesda, and a game-breaking bug that I'm unlikely to run into, but I'm playing, like, 40 hours before I run into that thing. The story was good. Like, I felt like that was a Marvel cinematic movie. Like, the story was good.
Powerful.
I love Kamala Khan. Like, I thought she was absolutely
I used to hate
great.
that character. In Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, when she's in, I'm like, this character sucks. Now do you actually get some depth and context? I love her.
I felt, and I was telling Gino too, like, I felt like she was the new what Spider-Man was.
Right.
Like what Tom Holland is. Like, she's that younger person that's not all gritty, whatever. She brings that life to the force. So I love her. She's my favorite character, hands down. But, actually, I forgot where I was even... Oh, so anyways, I forgot where I was going because I went off a tangent. So, towards the end of it, though, after I beat it, like, I go to load back into the game, and I can't get back into the campaign, like, no matter what I do. Like, it's going through the loading screen. The music's kind of skipping, which I thought was a feature, but isn't. I thought it was part of the soundtrack, but I realized it's just fucking up. But the load screen's going. I let it sit for 20 minutes, would not fucking load in. And I did it 3 separate times. I was like, fuck this, I'm just getting fed up. I'll play Call of Duty. I'm about to uninstall it. I looked it up, and they're like, hey, we've ran into this problem too. If you load into the Avengers Initiative, and this could happen to anyone at any point, if you load into the Avengers Initiative, which is the online aspect of the game mostly, once you load into it, you should be able to get back to the campaign. But once you load into the initiative, it tells you offhand, if you have not beat this, it's a spoiler. So you're going to have the game ruined for you if you cannot get back into the campaign. And even when I went to go into the initiative, it took 15 minutes, and I timed it for me just to load in before I could do anything else. And that's on top of all the other, I fall into the map, I got to do a loading screen for 5 minutes. The loot fucking sucks because it doesn't even change the way your character looks. You get so much it doesn't do anything. I don't score games. I'll get this game like a 4.
But you beat it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. You actually got to finish the game.
Oh, yeah. I did get to finish the game.
Yeah.
Tell me about yours.
This game sucks so much. I can't beat the game. I'm stuck in a loop to where I'm on the last mission because it even tells you, hey, square up because this is the last one before the campaign's over.
I do appreciate that.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, cool. And I get to a point, and it's happened to me twice already, and you have to beat 5 enemies in a row so that way it unlocks the next portion of where the campaign's moving. My game doesn't recognize when I beat the people. So out of the 5, I beat all of them. They disappear, and now I have 2 out of 5 X's checked. So I cannot move forward in the game. And this happened to me earlier in a mission, and I was like, and I did it 8 fucking times. I was like, what is going on here? I quit it. I unplugged my Xbox. I canceled it out. I restarted it. And I finally had my brother, we were in an online game, and my map reset, and that let me get past it. So I guess I have to do that again with the final mission I have to have somebody come in to reset the map. The game is so ridiculously buggy. Like, I would tell you right now, do not buy this thing. Don't even game share and split the price. The game
at
sucks.
$30, I feel ripped off. Yeah.
Yeah, the game sucks. Wait till this thing is $20, because even when you start playing the raids and the online multiplayer, which is what the actual meat of the fucking sandwich is supposed to be, it's a lot of repetitive maps. It's a lot of gear, like Andrew's saying. Not only is it not cosmetic, it's too much too soon to understand why you would even upgrade this piece of gear. Everything is just so basic and generic. I don't see the concept of, or at least the want to keep playing this game to grind up to get my characters on. It's just bad. Like, I don't want to say that. I like Crystal Dynamics and I like Square. It's a bad game.
And again, spoilers.
I can't beat the game, right, as of the way it sits right now. I cannot beat this game. It sucks.
Spoilers. Even worse, they have such a huge property to work with. You start off fighting Taskmaster, you're fighting the Abomination, this dude's turning into MODOK. I'm like, cool, great. I can't wait to see what other great villains I get to fight.
Generic bots throughout the rest of the game.
Monica in a alien style fucking suit, and that's about it. And then I'm like, okay, cool. Maybe I'll fight some other villain while I'm doing like the villain raids or the boss bases or what fuck ever. Defeat Taskmaster. I'm like, I already beat you on the bridge.
It's repeats and clones, Abomination clones that you have to beat.
You had such like a rich property, like you could throw in like at least like 3 more villains or something for me to like, oh hey, that's cool. What the fuck ever. Like, honestly, like I'm super fucking bummed about this game.
I've never been more disappointed. I mean, it's got a cool storyline, so let's not diminish that. But it's 10 hours. So if the main concept was the best part of your game is 10 hours, $60 is not why I buy games
10
to play
hours.
multiplayers.
but 3 of them are spent loading.
Jesus, and the loading is ridiculous. So guys, do not buy the game. I'm going to say that. Wait till the game's $20.
This is the first, don't buy it.
Or until there's a big patch, because this thing needs it desperately.
I've not hated something this bad recently, except for that time I played fucking DayZ, and this is almost coming up as much as I hate that in Battlefield 5. I would put this as worse than Battlefield 5.
I can't beat the game, so why? I have no love for this anymore. I can't beat
That's the one thing I'm actually happy about. I hope Craig doesn't beat it so he doesn't get the achievement and he gets fucked over just like we did on Gears of War.
I will say that it is achievement rich. Like I do like how often it was popping up, and it's a good game to start playing and feel rewarded.
I hate nothing more than when you do a story for a game and it's like, here's 2 achievements. You're halfway through and you're done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God, well that sucks.
Give us your opinion, because I know Gino was able to smash through it. Denny right now is playing it. He just texted me before we started recording this. His game won't even load up. Like, he has to... What were you saying the glitch was? You have to go to online play to pull someone out.
Which is going to spoil the ending for you as to some things.
Yeah, so...
I'll even give it up to... I know I posted that thing on Instagram. We had someone else who follows us on there named Rafe, and he was like, hey, I haven't had any of these problems. And I wonder if it's... We talk about this too sometimes. We see... other reviewers that beat a game and they're like, oh, the game was fine, or the game ran like shit. And you and me never ran into some of the problems that we've seen, but this is the first time I've ever ran into something where it's nothing but fucking issues. The whole from start to end, I had nothing but problems with this game. Even if it's small things, like Kamala's there and the cutscene's fine, but her hair's like keeps going like this, like going like in and out, and he was like, hey, I haven't ran into a single issue, and I'm like, you beat this whole game and you did not have a single issue. A single big issue, I find that hard to believe, but if you did, then maybe that's what I'm experiencing with some of these other people disconnects. I've seen other reviewers like, oh, the game's bad, this many issues. Say, what was the Star Wars, the Fallen Order? People are saying I had shit tons of issues. I can't beat it. It's stuck. Whatever. And me and him had no fucking problems playing that game at all. That I was like, I don't understand what you guys are saying. Maybe it's just that rare, but this is it right here, man.
Yeah, and so if people are still mad that Sony has Spider-Man, then they can have it.
Yeah, I take back everything I said. Like
I don't give a shit.
Keep him.
I'm not waiting.
Broken even worse.
I'm not waiting 6 months to play a shitty game just to play Spider-Man or be mad about it. So tell us if you guys think differently. I think this is one of the worst games I've played in a long, long time.
And the tangent, I think that's the worst part, is that, like he said, this is a game that's, all right, hey, we're Destiny, we're whatever, we're games as a service. This is meant to be the long haul. You can't even get me in the fucking short game. Get fucked on the long haul. I'm done. Like, I'm uninstalled. Like, I am done.
He's out. Hey, I'm just trying to finish, so we'll see if I even can. By next week, if I can't get into this fucking game and beat it, then you'll have my definitive answer if this game can go fuck itself. So
hey, he might go from a 4 to a 5 on the score if he can beat it.
Yeah, Andrew was like, what would you rank it? I'm like, dude, fuck 3, 4, maybe. Only because I like playing comic book games. And the story is really good. I just don't know how it ends. I don't know how the game ends. So
hey, we'll YouTube it together after this.
Yeah, we're going to have to. So, guys, normally we would get into questions, but the show is running a tad long, and we need to get to the contest, which I think is more important because you guys have been waiting. So, the questions that we have, we will do for next week. So, let's get into the contest. So, guys, we are giving away a game of your choice, and how you enter, like every past contest, is you put in a hashtag. This one was hashtag round 2, and we made it for episode 55, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Episode 60, we're going to announce the winner. I have everyone's name here on a card. I'm sure I'll throw up a picture of it all. So this was the entry for said episode. So the names we have are, for episode 55 is Philip Gazer. Episode 56 is Michaela Milford. Episode 57 is Dominique Moore. Episode 58 is Sylvia Zavala. And episode 59 is Matthew Wilson. So we're going to throw it in a hat. Should we do the record? We're going to have to, right?
So then, people trust us.
All right. You guys have to trust us by now. So I'm going to drop them. Oh, look. Here, I'll let you pick. So let me toss them around. All right, no peeks. And the winner is
Dominique Moore.
Dominique Moore. So congratulations, you are the winner of the game giveaway. Now, we've announced it before. The confines are gotta be a game under $60. Can't be hard to find.
I'll tell you what else you're gonna get.
Uh-oh.
Me and Craig are gonna sign this, and we'll send it with the game too.
Sure, we'll sign it. Gotta do it live.
But yeah, congrats on that. And definitely, as long as it's not some crazy ass hard game to find, as long as it comes out relatively soon, within this year, I will get it for you. So just let us know what you want.
Yeah, and guys, make sure that you pass the word along. We give out things a lot. We've got a really big one coming up soon.
We'll just say it now.
Should we do it now?
We're going to give away a console. We're not sure exactly which one we're going to do yet, or if we're going to let you pick your choice. But now's the time to start getting prepped. Keep watching the episodes, because once we figure it out, maybe once we find out the PS5 price point, unless it's $1,000, we'll probably end up letting you choose whatever console it is you want. And again, that's just something to thank you guys for giving us the time of your day, because we appreciate any minute we get, you know?
Yeah, because this is coming right around the corner, and we enjoy giving these things away to you guys. So, Dominic Moore, make sure you reach out to us, because the only reason we're doing this part of the contest is the last person that won, we never heard from. And I haven't heard from him since.
Yeah.
So if you want your prize, make sure you send us an email at lastcallproductions@gmail.com. And guys, follow us on Facebook at LastCall, Instagram at LastCall, and our Twitter at LastCall PRODZ. Stay in touch with us. Be a part of this. Be part of the solution and not the problem, because half the fun is conversating with you guys. Like, I love doing the questions, and we go back to episode 61. We'll do a couple more of those. So it's been a fun ride.
I got one other thing too. War Machine 928. I sent your shirt out, and sorry I kind of did it in a rush. I rushed it because it took so long to get here because of all the COVID shipping and everything. So I hope that you got it. Send us a picture to the email wearing it, or at least that you got it, something, just to let me know in my heart and soul, so I'm not wondering if it got lost in the mail. So I hope that it made it there just fine, but sorry it took so long, man.
Yeah, hey, dire times are living. So guys, that is the end of this episode. Make sure you jump down in the comments and give us your feedback. My name is Craig Perales, and that is Mandrew Montemayor. Until next time, guys. Cheers. And I want to like it too. Like, I want to like that game, but there's nothing surprising about it. Every time I was even watching other people play, like, all the fucking maps are just
the same.
Generic. They're repeats. It's the same. You gotta hit those 4 yellow buttons, and it's like the same fucking thing. There's like, that's your puzzle. Your puzzle is button platforming and knowing where the color is.
Dude, and the loot sucks. That's part of the grind. Like, when I at least play fucking Destiny, I'm getting these, like, chest pieces or arm pieces that change the way I fucking look. I get a gun that changes the way I fucking play. Like, I don't normally use shotguns, but I'm gonna use this one because it's super strong, so now I gotta get up close to fucking hit them. Like, this is just, it's nothing. The loot doesn't do shit. And the costumes, like, I'm not gonna sit there and grind for a fucking costume that's not gonna change anything with about whatever.
Because I don't mind it's not cosmetic related, because they have suits and you can get this, but it's like, I gotta bust my ass to get a thing that has 7% chance of doing blah blah blah.
Then why upgrade it?
And then, well, not even that. Then I get 14 more pieces that now make it irrelevant because it's behind on power. It's like, none of this is stable. Like, I shouldn't be getting a piece of gear, 14 pieces of in every armor slot to keep changing. It's like, I want to like my gear, and you're making it. I just sell it.
It was fun playing online with people, though. Like, I played a couple times online with people, just doing whatever. Some dude was the Hulk, and I think...
Were you playing with Gino? Gino said there was this kid who was playing the Hulk, and he would be like, in the headset, he'd be like, Hulk smash! And he would keep talking out loud to go, like, punch shit and beat shit up. I'm like, no. That's fun, and I get what the game wants to do, but it's just so... Dude, it's just too glitchy, man.
There was one point to, like...
How am I supposed to enjoy it?
You do the shit where you stand on the levers, and you open up the fucking base, and the chest is down below. A high-powered piece of gear. And so, like, I go to drop down to get the gear, but the level's not fucking loaded, so I just fall through. It takes a chunk of my health. I go back, do the same fucking thing, fall through. I'm almost fucking dead at this point now, so where I have to stand there for like another 3 minutes, and then finally the floor popped in, and I could drop down and go grab the fucking loot.
Yeah, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I don't know. And what's the next move? Because I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard any apologies or like, hey, I haven't heard any updates of like, hey, a big patch is coming. Blah blah blah. So,
dude, they should
hang in there.
If any game should have
been out for a week, and
if any game should have been delayed for another year, it's this. That, and like, what the fuck is that end game content? You're gonna make me refight Taskmaster and fucking the Abomination?
Yeah. Well,
Like,
the only two villains you actually got to fight in the game.
even if it wasn't a villain, make me fight fucking Venom for some like misunderstanding. Make me fight fucking Mephisto. Anybody.
Anybody.
It didn't have to be Galactus or fucking Thanos. Bring in some of these other people. Bring me in like Morbius, where he's like a
Bring in all the
misunderstood
Spider-Man's
villain.
bad guys if we can't get him to play. Let me fight Rhino. Let me fight Magneto. Where's all that at?
Yeah, where the fuck is
Because
like
the games aren't tied up with the IP of being not usable. Like, you can do Fantastic Four villains. You can do X-Men villains.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was really expecting like Doctor Doom to show up like at some point.
Doom.